America Online. So easy to use, no wonder it's #1.
Welcome back to San Francisco, along with Phil Simms. I'm Greg Gumbel. 7-3 San Francisco, and you mentioned earlier that the Broncos are very adept at making mid-game adjustments. What do you think Mike Shanahan is trying to do now?
Well, I think they go in at halftime. They saw what the 49er defense did to them in the first half. You look at that play sheet and you go, wait, we got about 4 new plays here that we worked on all week that we didn't show them. So you come out and you give them some new looks. And you always see good offensive teams. The Broncos, their first drive was good. Ed McCaffrey fumbles. Now we'll see what change of attack they've done and what plays they drew up during the week they didn't use in the first half.
Well, the Broncos will get the football first here in the second half. Karan Coleman, Mike Anderson are deep. From the 6, Coleman dropped the football. To the 10, and not much further. Buried at the 11-yard line. Ronnie Hurd led the charge after a 6-yard return. Let's go to Armin.
Thanks, Greg. Mike Shanahan spoke to him. He's very upset about this communication system or lack thereof. He told me, he said, we haven't been able to communicate from the first play. He says, I cannot talk to my quarterback. I can't go no huddle. The problem is, he says, there are 100 frequencies on our frequency, the one that we use to communicate to our quarterback. So he's obviously not pleased about this. Back to you.
All right, Armin, thank you. Meanwhile, we have a personal foul against the 49ers, which is going to take the Broncos out of that hole. Let me ask you, Phil, as a quarterback and looking at the offense, how big a deal is this for the Denver Broncos?
Big deal. He just said it. I like some of the things they were doing in the no huddle because it makes the 49er defense get real simple is the best way to put it. So they cannot go to that because of the no communication to the quarterback.
This is Mike Anderson on the carry, and he'll get a couple before he's buried on the left side.
And here you go. They gave the play to the running back. Here comes the running back in. Can't tell the number. Orlando Scary coming in. So that is hard. Now, you know, we talked to Brian Greasy last night, and I always kid him. I said, well, how hard was it to memorize and learn all the new plays this week? He goes, not as bad as last week, but about 50% of the plays with the Broncos each week, brand new.
Penalty markers again. Carry the carry. Nothing there, but let's see if they get the 49ers for jumping offside.
I think he did. You hear me say this all the time. Not used enough by quarterbacks in this league anymore. The snap count.
Number 98 defense, San Francisco, offside, 5 yards, repeat second down.
That's Julian Peterson. He said, yeah, when going back to what Brian Greasy said, he said the first week of the season is always the toughest game plan. He says last week's was the hardest it's ever been.
Well, you know, the coaches had all offseason to get ready for the Rams, so they just looked at every film and we did everything. This week, not quite as bad, but formations, they do a lot of them, a lot of new plays.
Mike Anderson to the 40.
Now, when you see any offense run the football, and you know, one of the reasons why you hear that all the time, well, if you run it, it opens up the passing game. Well, it really does. What it makes now, there's nothing worse. The defensive coordinators sit over there, they get mad if somebody starts running on it. So you crowd the line of scrimmage. It makes it easier for a wide receiver to get open.
Anderson again. Now, we were talking with Dana Stubblefield about what the tendencies are of the Broncos on offense, and he said what you have to do is fight your natural instinct to go to the football, because the Broncos love to get you going one way and allow their running back to cut back the other. And Terrell Davis made a nice little living doing that
he
for
sure
a few
did.
years in Denver.
You know, and Dana Stubblefield did a terrific job of explaining it to us. And it's like you cannot run with them. You have to stop and wait for the runner to come back to you.
Greasy still has it. Rolling. Cuts back. Gonna keep it. Midfield. Out of bounds. Close to the 45-yard line of the San Francisco 49ers.
Wow, nice job by Brian Greasy. A little better, a lot more nimble with his feet than most people give him credit for. But look at everybody running because of the running game. Nobody's open, but look at all the space. And Brian Greasy, nice job.
Boy, what a job Ahmed Plummer did with keeping Ed McCaffrey in tow downfield.
And look at Dana Stubblefield, just gets walled off, and oh, there it is.
Olandis Gary tripped up, just across the line of scrimmage. Pickup of 1 makes it 2nd and 9.
Well, the 49ers, some of these defensive players are flying in there so fast. That was Jamie Winborn that time. He's blowing up his own players, just trying to create a mess. And sometimes that's what it is to stop a running game. Just people fall down because the runner has nowhere to go.
You know, listening to Boomer Esiason at halftime, you know if he had an MVP vote, Ahmed Plummer would get it, don't you?
You mean you were listening to Boomer? I listened too.
5 wide receivers. Greasy over the middle, wide open. Shannon Sharp, first down inside the 35-yard line, and the ball is blown dead.
Well, see, you can tell, Greg, and the 5 wide receiver set is really giving the 49er defense. Look over the middle. You're the quarterback. Why, nobody there. Shannon Sharp gets it and gets some easy yards. Jamie Winborn, his job is to drop back and make sure nobody runs like a 15-yard route across the middle, so nobody's covering that 5 to 8 yard position right over the football.
They pick up the blitz. They go deep for McCaffrey. Incomplete. A penalty marker down on the far side of the field. And this is an offside against the 49ers.
Offside, 55 San Francisco, 5 yards, repeat first down.
That's Jamie Winborn, who had 16 tackles in the opening game win against the Giants.
Well, when you're aggressive, we talked about it earlier, blitzing, it's all about timing. The timing wasn't there that time for Winborn.
9 penalties already in this game against the 49ers, 3 in this half. Mike Anderson. Anderson breaks through inside the 15-yard line. Tony Parrish dragged him down.
This is different what we're watching today. Mike Shanahan said, we're going to just run it straight up in there. Look at this. Nothing fancy. Oh, nice. Ben Hamilton gets Dana Stubblefield running sideways and creates the lane. There goes Stubblefield and Ephraim Salam on the backside. Wow. They are taking some people out on this play. Jamie Winborn, Ephraim Salam, nice job. Good athlete, came from Atlanta. Went from right tackle to left tackle and has done a good job. Mike Shanahan likes him a lot.
Clinton Portis, left side. Just a reminder, something we mentioned at the end of the first half, these 49ers have not allowed a touchdown in this stadium in the last 15 quarters.
Yeah, you know that you have a good defense. When your defensive coordinator, Jim Mora, I asked him, well, what's the game plan? And he looks, he goes, hey, Phil, we just run our stuff. You know, in other words, they don't have to make a lot of adjustments no matter who they're playing. Their stuff is solid. They're not real tricky, and it matches up against every offense now in the NFL.
2nd and 10. Greasy on the quick slant to Rod Smith to the 2. That'll be a 1st and goal.
Boy, good read by Brian Greasy. Yards, plays, they're hard to come by. Perfect throw, Rod Smith. Nice job of going up and protecting himself and the football. Watch, he shields it. Plummer doesn't like to take a lot of chances, stays far enough off where Brian Greasy can get the completion.
Smith on the sideline. Anderson in motion. Greasy still has it. Throws. Touchdown.
First and goal from the 1. Play action pass. Quarterbacks love it. It's an automatic touchdown. You've got to play run. That's what the 49ers do. Nice fake by Brian Greasy.
Mike Anderson, his first career receiving touchdown. As you look at the numbers on Brian Greasy's consecutive game streak with a touchdown pass, now reached 17. The extra point is good. 9:01 to play in the 3rd. The Denver Broncos on the board with a touchdown, and that's a rarity against the 49ers in this stadium. It's been a long time between touchdowns by a Denver Broncos running back. caps a 10-play, 74-yard drive.
Well, do you think they figured anything out in that locker room at halftime? I would think so.
Elam's kick. And bobbled by Paul Smith at the 8. Recaptures it and goes down at about the 17 or 18-yard line. 6-yard return. Brian Greasy's touchdown pass to Mike Anderson has Denver on the lead.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. Zenith, the ultimate authority in high-definition TV. Digitize the experience. And by the all-new Accord from Honda. It's more Accord than ever.
Welcome back to San Francisco. 8:54 to play in the third quarter. Hurst and Beasley in the backfield as Garcia calls the signals from his own 18-yard line. Straight drop, throws to the flat, Hurst. And Hurst is met at about the 22-yard line. Tacklers led by Ian Gold. And Phil, guess what? The newest survivors are headed to Thailand for an all-new adventure. But as the game begins, they'll face a surprise twist they could never have imagined. Don't miss the premiere of the all-new Survivor Thailand, Thursday at 8, 7 Central on CBS. And 1 week from today, I will be quizzing you.
Well, listen, just from that promo, I'm going to watch it.
This is Hurst, and Hurst stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Lionel Dalton. Let's go back to the touchdown play.
Yeah, let's look at it because I want to show everybody something. The play action fake. Here's Mike Anderson. They're going to fake it to the left. He comes all the way under and does this. And one of the reasons why I want to show you, I saw this play in 1982, the Super Bowl, the 49ers against the Cincinnati Bengals. So Mike Shanahan, I bet you he learned that play when he came here as offensive coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, and he just pulled it out again this week.
On 3rd and 6, quick drop for Garcia, quick slant behind his intended receiver, J.J. Stokes, but it's enough for a first down.
Boy, J.J. Stokes, when you're talking about a big wide receiver, and just all he's got to do is make sure he's to the inside, and nice catch. Uses his arms, his body, and Jeff Garcia, let's see if he gets a clean passing lane. Oh, how did he even get rid of it? Ian Gold up in his face.
First down out to the 30-yard line. Quick pass. Once again, it's Stokes. And Stokes out to about the 38-yard line. That's about an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 2nd and 2.
You know, that is not that easy of a pass, believe me. Jeff Garcia got that snap, and he fired it out to J.J. Stokes, and it wasted no time or anything, and it allowed J.J. Stokes to pick up 8 yards.
It's funny, we're talking to Jeff Garcia, and he talks about how he makes demands on himself. He says it's been never settling and always wanting to improve and to be better and do better for the offense, for the team. And of course, as he has become more successful, he says my time's a little tougher to manage too.
Yeah, it is. It is. And Jeff Garcia, he's one of my favorites when you watch him play.
There's a penalty marker as Garcia goes down under the rush of Trevor Price.
Well, Trevor, you're not going to get the sack, though. I don't think.
No foul. The player that was held made the sack. There is no foul. 3rd down.
Okay, so much for that. I was wrong. Trevor Price, number 93. All the way to the top. Just a terrific move inside, and look at that. Scott Gregg just holding all the way, and Mike Shanahan said the addition of Lionel Dalton is the big thing. He plays inside. Now they can always put Trevor Price outside, and that's where he can become a star. Good player always, but he can really be good on the outside.
Now it's a 3rd and 10 for Garcia. Steps up, throws to the sideline, and hits Stokes again. Stokes appeared to have the first down. The question is, where will they mark forward progress? If it is marked at the 40-yard line, which it appears to be, then that's a first down, just barely. Boy, the 49ers coaches were putting in their bid for the ball, for the spot of the ball, weren't they?
Yeah, it was pretty funny. But you know what? It's not funny. It's just because it's so emotional. Every play means so much when you got two good teams going at each other like this. You just got to continue to make those little plays, get those first down, and hope that somebody can take a 5-yard pass or whatever and make a big play out of it.
Kevin Barlow. Barlow gets a couple, dancing up the middle. Denard Walker, the cornerback, with the stop. 2-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know, you were talking about Jeff Garcia, though, and he put the 10 pounds on, a little bigger, takes the punishment better, and you know, I said, you've learned to organize your beatings, so you just take them better than you used to. But you know, he's talking about his success. He feels like people are starting to see that around the league, and it doesn't matter. He's not going to change the way he plays. As Al Groh once said to us about Wayne Corbett, Jeff Garcia is always going to play angle.
Lost the football. Did he get it back?
Oh, look at that, just diving into the pile.
There's a secondary pileup.
He was on top of that ball.
Well, you hear part of the argument going on down there, and apparently nothing. We'll wait for Ron Blum. It is Denver football. And Ron Blum having a face-to-face argument with Derek Dees about it.
Well, it sounded like he was saying that somebody recovered it and they pulled it away from him.
We'll take a timeout. 4:07 to play in the third. Broncos, good field position.
Watch Jeff Garcia fumbles a snap. This football, trust me, it's hard to fall on. He's got it, goes right on it, it slips out underneath, and John Mobley, number 51, picks it up.
And the Broncos now first down at the San Francisco 40-yard line with the ball, good field position, and the lead. On the reverse, McCaffrey looked to throw, pulled it down, is going to run inside the 35 to about the 34.5-yard line.
And with a death grip on the football that time. They ran a double reverse earlier. This time it's a reverse. Ed McCaffrey is going to throw it. He does throw the football pretty well. He looks down the field. The defense is not fooled. Good job. Protects the football.
McCaffrey still without a catch today. Here's Mike Anderson. Stacked up at about the 33. That'll still be about 3 yards shy of a first down. Jim Mora looking on. Gave us a little update on his dad. Said, how's your dad doing? 18 years a head coach in the NFL. He's relaxing and doing just fine.
Playing a little golf and enjoying it.
Fans and hoping for a defensive stand by the 49ers here. Olandis Gary, the only back with a double tight end set. Oh, Brian Greasy looked like he was trying to draw the defense with the snap count, but his right guard jumped.
The ball was snapped. Ball start, number 62, Denver. 5 yards, repeat third down.
Dan Neal.
Let's watch Brian Greasy as he tries to draw him off sides. A little flinch by him. He did it so good and so hard that Dan Neal thought it was real.
So now instead of a 3rd and 3, it's 3rd and 8. And again, the Broncos will spread the field. Pass out here, incomplete, intended for Rod Smith. And Jason Elam, looking to his coach, wants to know if he's going to try a field goal here. And instead, they're going to send the punting unit on.
Well, that 5-yard penalty was probably just enough to stop the field goal unit from getting a chance.
This would be about a 55-yard attempt, and Mike Shanahan elects instead to see if Tom Ruin can pin the 49ers down deep. Jimmy Williams stands at his own 10. Off the right side of his foot. You heard someone yell shank, but he gets a bounce Oh, what a roll he got off of that one. It's down to the 6-yard line. That's a shank that a punter will take any time. 2:13 to play in the third.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Nike and by Staples 365 Savings. Yeah, we've got that.
San Francisco offense has been laboring under some tough conditions. Take a look at where they've begun the last 4 possessions. Garcia and the 49ers from the 6. Fred Beasley. Not much there.
Yeah, you know why, Greg? Field position is so important. I think now when you play the San Francisco 49ers offense, they're not making big plays. They're not throwing the ball down the field. They're really not trying. So when you play a good team, this Denver Broncos, now you're looking at least a minimum of executing 10 plays to get down the field to score. So there's Greg Knapp, the offensive coordinator. There's, you know, in practice they were trying to throw it down the field, but in the game, the Broncos not allowing that to happen.
Garcia in the pocket, throws up the seam. Oh, what a hit. Incomplete. Kanoy Kennedy came up on Terrell Owens. You know, we're a good long ways from the field, and you could hear that.
Oh, boy, that was a running start from Kanoy Kennedy. Owens down the middle. Nobody hits him, allows him to get there free, and just cannot hold on to it. Jeff Garcia knew he was going there all the way. Well, that is a big hit. And but you know, that's what allows a defensive back or defensive backs to get big hits when they don't have to cover somebody man to man. They're just looking so they can react as soon as the quarterback pulls his arm back.
Garcia running out of time, throws incomplete to Garrison Hurst. The boos rain down on the 49ers as the punting unit comes on the field.
Yeah, a lot of people are, you know, I saw the receivers throwing their hands down. Trust me, you weren't open. When you watch the film, you're not. So Jeff Garcia, he's a veteran. Why take a chance? A minute 24 to go in the third quarter is not the time to start gambling.
You know, you talked about how big a guy Terrell Owens is. How many receivers would have just popped up right after that hit?
Yeah, that's right, Greg. Not many. You would have, though.
Oh, yeah.
You like pain.
O'Neal is at midfield. Baker will kick it out of his own end zone. O'Neal from the 45. Around the block, looking for another one, and is run out of bounds at about the San Francisco 46-yard line by Quincy Stewart. This here game of football is a contact sport. Thursday, September the 26th, here on CBS. Every 30 seconds, someone disappears. You've read the stories of families torn apart. Now meet the team who finds the missing and brings them home. Without a trace, the 26th of September, here on CBS. Orlandis Gary on the carry, got a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 9. You know, one of the things we're talking as we continue our discussion about Brian Griese with Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe kind of brings the guy back to the team who can do the talking for everybody.
Absolutely. You're right there. And he says a lot of good things, too, though.
Griese throws far side, and that's complete. McCaffrey.
You know, just to go to that Brian Griese thing, Greg, and talk about it just a little bit more. I didn't say this earlier. I have no doubt that Mike Shanahan believes in him, that it's not going to be a recurring atmosphere of trying to pull him. He believes Steve Berline, maybe there might be an instance where he comes in, but Brian Griese's his guy.
Let's see if the Broncos get off a snap before the end of the quarter here. They do. Griese pulls it down, rolls this way. Still looking, gonna go deep for Rod Smith. End zone. Penalty marker flies as the ball falls incomplete. And defensive coordinator, Jim Morrow, was chased back up the sideline by the officials.
Yeah, he was in the end zone. Brian Greasy moves, throws it down the field, and he took
Pass interference. Number 38, San Francisco. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed at the 1 yard line, 1st and goal. That's the end of the 3rd quarter.
It'll be the other end zone, and not this one, though. There's Ronnie Hurd picking up Rod Smith, and he will draw the interference call in the end zone. Meanwhile, back at the other end, there is Andre Carter just leveling Brian Greasy. After this word from your local station, we'll be back.
Are you over the age of 16 and currently experiencing mood swings, trouble sleeping, or loss of appetite? Then Damon's Rib Fest may be right for you. Damon's Cure is our delicious fall-off-the-bone ribs, paired with your choice of barbecued chicken or spicy tortilla shrimp, each only $9.99. In test, some people expressed a sudden sense of liberation, which can only be duplicated with a return trip to Damon's Rib Fest. Rib Fest is on for a limited time at Damon's, starting at just $9.99.
Broncos couldn't ask for it any better. 1st and goal from the 1 as we start the 4th quarter. Olandis Gary and Mike Anderson in the backfield. Anderson in motion. Gary, the fake to him. Greasy on the roll, gonna keep it, and is short of the end zone. Julian Peterson came up to hit him, and that's a pretty good shot Brian Greasy has taken on 2 consecutive plays.
Oh, the play before, just watch this one real quick. The 49ers ready for it. They drop back, and Brian Greasy does a terrific job of getting down just in time. He could not have toughed that out or anything to get into the end zone.
Brian Greasy told us yesterday Broncos have had their problems focusing in the 4th quarter, dating back to last season. The give, straight ahead, touchdown, Olandis Gary.
And that goes back, Brian Greasy, sometimes you got to take a chance. He moved out of the pocket. He threw it down the end zone, just gave Rod Smith a chance to make the play. They get the penalty. It won't show up in the box score, but that was valuable yardage and nice blocking up front for the touchdown.
Jason Elam. Now with 348 consecutive points after touchdown. 49ers hadn't given up a touchdown here at home in a long time. Now they've surrendered 2. The numbers on the Denver scoring drive as Olandis Gary chalks up his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, and they should have in there one really big hit taken by the quarterback. And it was a big hit, but Andre Carter could have really done some serious damage to Brian Greasy, but he, of course, hit him clean and I think took it easy on him.
And, you know, maybe not coincidentally, the Denver headset communications problems have been resolved. Jimmy Williams and Paul Smith deep. Dropped at the 16-yard line by Williams. Loose football, and he picked it up. That would have been a costly one to lose for the 49ers. Our NFL.com poll question, who's the best NFL quarterback of all time? Is it Bradshaw, Elway, Marino, Montana, Steve Young, or a guy named John Unitas, who was a really nice man and who made his mark in the National Football League? Cast your vote at NFL.com. Plenty of time remaining, 14-10 here in the 4th quarter. Garcia stands in over the middle, incomplete, intended for Eric Johnson.
Well, because it's the score the way it is, 17-7, you will see that the Broncos now they can play a little safe. They don't have to crowd the line of scrimmage. Go ahead, let the 49ers run for 5 yards, they're saying. So strategy always changing, and the score dictates it, of course.
Lionel Dalton trots off the field. On 2nd and 10. Quick pass to the far side. Owens shakes a tackle and is out to close to the 30-yard line, and the ball is blown dead before it came loose.
Well, that time, Denard Walker, number 25, he read the play quick. He comes up. You say, okay, no gain, but the wide receivers for the 49ers so big, even when you go low. Watch, top of your screen, just hard to bring down. And that's part of the San Francisco running game right now, is to throw these real quick short passes to the outside.
3rd and 4. And we get a timeout that the Broncos called as number 97 Keith Washington raced to get off the field before the snap. So they used their first time out here in the second half.
You're right, Greg. They just called it because they didn't know if he was going to get off the field in time. They did not want to give up a cheap first down right here. And the wind, if you're looking at it too, is picked up dramatically here. So that's not going to help Jeff Garcia in the passing game.
You know, you mentioned earlier what an addition Lionel Dalton has been. And you were talking about how unusual he looked. And Chester McLaughlin said, well, I call him square.
Square. I tell you, there's not much. It is square from the shoulders to the ground. But also, Chester McLaughlin was telling us Monsanto Pope. You know, you saw Bertrand Berry early in the game make a play. They got a lot of big, talented defensive linemen. And I noticed it when I watched their game against the Rams, and they've done it today regardless of how it turns out. Their up front people have made a dramatic improvement.
They need the 34-yard line for a first down. Garcia on the move. Pulls it down, going to run for it, and dives, and appears to have enough for the first down. And we talked earlier about Jeff Garcia taking a beating. He is one of the smaller quarterbacks in the NFL, and he says one of the things he likes is to take that beating and get up and go right back to the huddle.
Show them that you can't keep me down, and boy, nice job. And I know, again, at that time you got third in that situation, 3rd down. Keep him in the pocket. They're covering receivers well, but over anxious pass rushers allow Jeff Garcia to get outside.
First and Barlow in the backfield. This is Kevin Barlow around the left side. Up to the 39, a pickup of about 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6. And you and I were talking during the commercial break. Now that it's a 17-7 game, what kind of changes do you expect to see in the San Francisco offense?
Well, none yet. And I think that don't get away from running the football. When I talked about Denver maybe being a little more conservative on defense, that means not as many people near the line of scrimmage. Now's the time to sneak a run in there every now and then.
Garcia throws it away.
Well, that time the Broncos do come with a linebacker blitz, but the 49er offensive backs can just stand in there and take them on and not give an inch. And they allowed Jeff Garcia to stand there. He broke out of the pocket, but he did not have to that time.
A big 3rd and 6. 49ers lead the 45-yard line for a first down. Garcia going to roll it this way and throws. Oh, what a pass. Complete to Terrell Owens for a first down.
Boy, you're right. What a pass. Nice catch. Good design. Not many teams in the National Football League. Watch number 81. Oh, gets him running back. Good job by Deltha O'Neal. But the perfect throw on the sprint. Good spiral. Man, Jeff Garcia can throw on the run as well as anybody in the league.
See the numbers on Terrell Owens for last week. And this, Garrison Hurst to the left side. And is dragged down at about the line of scrimmage. John Mobley with the tackle, and we go to New York for an NFL Today update. Jim Nance.
All right, hello there, Greg. After a Minnesota hookup to Randy Moss, Charlie Rogers for the Bills goes 90 yards. You think he learned something from Chad Morton last week? This game is tied at 20. 9 minutes to play, 3rd quarter. Let's go back to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim, thank you.
He didn't say hi to me.
No.
You know. I'm a little touchy here, you know.
Get into one of those extended Kentucky conversations. Garcia.
Blitz.
Over the middle, and Owens is there. Now, what did Steve Mariucci tell us? We talked about what happens at halftime. Do you take a look and see what you've been doing? He says he has the statistics read to him, and he tries to keep things balanced. So after a very quiet first half for Terrell Owens, all of a sudden Terrell Owens is seeing the football a lot here.
Well, listen, every pass play they throw just about is designed to get it to Terrell Owens, but Steve Mariucci has a coach read things to him just so he can see what they're lacking in. If we're not running, who's catching, just to give him some information about the game that maybe he's missed.
Pass over the middle, complete to Eric Johnson inside the 40. That's another first down.
Now you go back, here the 49ers are driving. Think back to that third down scramble by Jeff Garcia, but where is his defense? A little soft, right in the middle. Jeff Garcia finds the tight end, Eric Johnson, over the middle again.
You're talking about Owens. Doesn't he have a nice little chunk in that playbook that Steve Mariucci showed us?
Yeah, that's right. He's got, you know you're a good player when you have your own name on the play sheet by the coaches.
Garcia to throw. Pump fake, going down the sideline. It is intercepted at the 1-yard line by Deltha O'Neal.
Well, they finally took a shot down the field. They took one against the Giants, and both times it's been intercepted.
Ty Streets, the intended receiver. Deltha O'Neal came down with the football.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Ford. No boundaries. IBM. E-business is the game. Play to win. And by Bud Light. For the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
As we welcome you back with 9:35 to play in the fourth quarter, there is a challenge in progress, and apparently it hasn't been announced or explained, but apparently the Denver Broncos are questioning whether or not that should be ruled a touchback. And they would have the ball at the 20-yard line instead of the half-yard line.
Yeah, it's a good challenge by Mike Shanahan and his coaches. Let's see if they do it. Deltha O'Neal, nice job of being in the field, and he catches it, and he's going to be in the field of play, it looked like right there. And so Mike Shanahan's not going to challenge it. We were wrong, Greg. But if he caught it and fell into the end zone, it would have been a touchback. But it looks like he caught it, established possession, and was still on the 1-foot line is where they marked it.
Well, for the 49ers, this is just the equivalent of a great punt. From the half-yard line, there's a jump, looked like Dana Stubblefield, and breaking through is Orlandis Gary out to the 11.
Oh boy, that's big stuff. I was going to say, what would I do? I'd come down here and I would absolutely throw a snap count at them and try to get 5 cheap yards.
Offside, San Francisco, nose tackle, penalties declined. First down.
So the penalty is against the 49ers, and the ball now out to the 11-yard line for a first down.
And different type of running. We said it earlier, but you don't see this usually. The Broncos just running straight up into the line. Usually they like to stretch you and cut back. Today, more just running right at this defensive line.
Gary breaks a tackle or two before he bounced at about the 13-yard line. Bryant Young.
You know, I swear when I watch these games, they hit harder now than they used to. Either that, well, you know, I watch it and I go, boy, they run around a lot faster, and the hitting is ferocious, and the players are good. Look at that. You talking about running at them? 16 for 101 right up the middle. Only place they haven't had success is to the right side.
Well, Brian Greasy looks like he's going to call a timeout here.
Yep, and make sure you do it with 1 second left.
He calls timeout. 8:29 to play in the fourth quarter. Denver uses its second timeout here in the second half. They lead by 10. Want to remind you, next Sunday, the NFL on CBS rocks single-header games. All of us, Phil, Armin, and I, will be in Miami as Vinny Testaverde and the Jets take on the Miami Dolphins. You see the rest of the action there. Olandis Gary with the carry out across the 15-yard line. A gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 5. As I was saying, we'll be in Miami as the Jets take on the Miami Dolphins. We ask you to check your local listings. It all begins with the NFL Today at noon Eastern Time.
Well, in these situations, I'm always like, okay, you're home. Let's just see what the Broncos do. What are your thoughts? How can you? They just want to pick up a first down. If they do it, it just gives them such a great chance of winning the game, of course, because the 49ers need 2 possessions.
3rd and 5. Greasy, quick pass, far side, and that's complete and out of bounds to Ashley Lilly. Enough for a first down, and that's a big first down for Denver.
Boy, is it ever, and what a nice play call. And you do not see this run that much anymore where they throw the quick out. It's always slants, hitches, and it's a long throw. But Brian Greasy, excellent, right on target. Wind doesn't bother a tight spiral, and Ashley Lilly makes a nice catch.
Ashley Lilly with his first NFL reception. Brian Greasy's numbers by half. Gary and Anderson in the backfield. On the reverse, here comes Rod Smith trying to turn the corner and gets tripped up at about the 28-yard line. Julian Peterson, who has been all over the field today for the 49ers with the stop.
Yeah, he's done a good job. And Julian Peterson, linebacker, drops back in coverage, runs around, and on 3rd downs, he's a pass rusher, so does a little bit of everything.
Clock continues to move with 6:50 to play now in the 4th quarter.
Well, the 49ers, we've seen on offense, they need time. It is absolutely imperative that they stop the Broncos now and not let them have another first down.
Anderson, the lone back. McCaffrey. And McCaffrey run out of bounds at the 33.
And you saw what happens. You get in this situation, the defense has to gamble. The 49ers blitzed. And I would say the same thing right here. 3rd and about, looks like about
4.
No, I was going to say 3.
Go ahead, say 3.
All right, I'll say 3.
3rd and 4.
That's what it looks like to me. But take a chance. You've got to now. If you're the 49ers defense, you've got to come at them and try to get a negative play, but don't let them have time to execute.
49er fans backing their defense.
Oh, look at everybody at the line of scrimmage.
That's Lilly in motion to the far side. The give is to Anderson, breaks through. Close to midfield, penalty markers are down, and I'm guessing it was the 49er defensive front that jumped.
It was, and I'll tell you what, I don't know if the Broncos blocked anybody.
Offside, 98 San Francisco, penalties declined, first down.
They jump offside, but Mike Anderson looks like he just ran through the hole quick. A blitz. Hey, how many times we talked about it? Cheeky O'Keefer, I thought. 1, 2 guys in the backfield. Overcommitting allows Michael Anderson to run for the first down.
Anderson, 8 carries for 92 yards today. This is Gary. And Gary to the 47 of the 49ers.
Well, this Denver team, last week it was looking for the big plays. The defense just stopping Kurt Warner enough. And today the defense has played well, and the offense just, no other word for it, but just tough. Brian Greasy's played tough. The offensive line's just been tough all day long.
This Denver Broncos team, you know, it just loses a great runner in Terrell Davis. And Mike Shanahan loves the runners that he's had to deal with. Anderson and Olandis Gary and Clinton Portis. Oh, look at the hole right up the middle. Gary spinning inside the 25 to the 22-yard line, and another Denver first down.
Well, Greg, you talk about the running backs for the Broncos. Now think about it. You got 3 of you back there. When you get a chance, you better make it happen. But here's the play that they're famous for. That was it. Moving left, the 49ers defensive line gets moving too fast. The runner cuts back. Dana Stubblefield. Oh, my gosh. They wash them all down in there. Jamie Winborn gets washed down. And Orlando Scary, when he cuts it back, there is nobody there.
What a difference a week makes. A week ago, the 49ers allowed the Rams 43 yards rushing, and Denver has racked up almost 200. Mike Anderson stoned at the 23.
But you got three different type of runners. Mike Anderson, powerful. Gary's fast.
Clinton Portis, even faster.
He's faster than that.
Timeout on the field. We'll be back.
The NFL on CBS is sponsored by Best Buy. For the latest technology, turn on the fun at Best Buy. And by Hertz, the world's #1 in car rental.
I want to remind you tonight on 60 Minutes, peacekeepers patrolling the streets are the easy part. The tough part is putting Afghanistan back together. See for yourself tonight on 60 Minutes. Then catch Becker on a new night, followed by the CBS Sunday movie Message in a Bottle, starring Kevin Costner. It's all here tonight on CBS.
Well, all right.
Line of scrimmage, a 23-yard line. This is a Denver drive that began at their own 1. It's eaten up 5 minutes and 40 seconds. On 2nd and 11, Anderson left side, inside the 20 to the 19-yard line, and the 49ers use a timeout. That's the second timeout that the 49ers have used in each of these teams now with 1 timeout remaining.
Well, we talked about this last week. We were up in Buffalo with the Jets and the Bills, and you watch this game today, and both lines I thought played very well, but Denver, you know, around the league, you think of the Broncos, you think of a smaller, faster team, but they're strong. They're big and strong in the two places they count, offense and defensive line. And that's what I noticed about them, that when we came out here, I said, this is a different team that Mike Shanahan's got put together this year. The defensive line is, you know, they don't have to trick anymore to get it done. They just stand in there and fight you.
On the 49ers side of the ball, you can bet they're going to be looking at some lost opportunities here today.
Well, the 49ers, their offense has definitely got to find ways to make some big plays.
Greasy throws this side, and that's complete to number 84, Shannon Sharp, the tight end.
Well, Shannon Sharp, it doesn't get more reliable than him, and he really said something that was very smart to us. He goes, every day I make sure I put something on film. That means games and practices to let those coaches know
why I'm in there.
Yeah, to give them a reason to let them know why I'm starting.
You just saw him throw the football off to be saved because that is career reception number 700 for Shannon Sharp.
And Greg, he's right. It's wide receivers first, then the football comes to him. But what a valuable addition again, getting him back.
Greasy still has it. Throws complete inside the 5. Touchdown, Scotty Montgomery. Greasy right there to congratulate him, and the entire Denver sideline has just erupted.
Man, this was hard fought. You're going to look at the score and think that the Broncos just won the game easily, but it's been hard work, especially for Brian Greasy. Took some hits, had to hang in there. Not much going on with the offense, but in the second half, 3 touchdowns by this Bronco offense has been well done.
Scotty Montgomery, in his 3rd year out of Duke, records his first NFL touchdown catch. (24-7) is the score. Scotty Montgomery turned it in and then spun outside, broke free of his man, and Greasy hit him on the button. And Brian Greasy, the guy who is often accused of not having much emotion, well, that'll work, won't it?
Yeah, I think he's pretty fired up. I could see a little anger in him last night. That's fine. And if Mike Shanahan doesn't talk to him, so what? You know, don't worry about it. I don't think he's going to, and he continues to progress as a quarterback. And just to go back to that touchdown, you keep running the football, it allows Brian Greasy that little extra time to have space to throw it. Scotty Montgomery makes the fake inside, gets wide open.
That's the 5th Denver touchdown this season, and it was scored. They've been scored by 5 different players.
Well, that's another key. To be a successful team week in and week out, you got to have a lot of ways to win. And the Broncos are showing they got a lot of ways to get it done.
A 99-yard drive by the Denver Broncos. Elam's kick taken in at the 14 by Jimmy Williams. Out over the 30 to about the 33-yard line. While we have a moment, we remind you, this week on The Late Show with David Letterman, don't miss Mike Myers, Matthew Perry, The Vines, Alicia Keys, and Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band. Monday, Dave welcomes Al Pacino and New York Yankee pitcher Roger Clemens, all this week on The Late Show right here on CBS.
You know, I really figured it out why the Broncos turned it around here in the second half, because we were talking to Shannon Sharp. He says, when you win in Denver, it's the greatest place you can be. It's just wonderful. But when you lose, oh, he says, Mike Shanahan is the worst loser I've ever been around.
Garcia's pass, and that's complete out to Eric Johnson at the 40-yard line.
And then you know what, Greg, we've been around him enough to know that that is true. You know, Mike Shanahan, he will treat you right as a player, but they demand excellence. They demand hard work. Do your job.
Did it ever bother you if the coach was angry at you or not?
Oh, sure.
Did it?
Sure. I didn't want, you know, hey, we all want to be liked and all that, but sometimes, you know, being in those situations, it's okay. You know, this game is so dang hard that there's just got to be conflicts. And nice throw by Jeff Garcia, but it's okay if Mike Shanahan and Brian Griese are not the best of friends. You know, they respect each other. And believe me, Brian Griese knows to be a successful quarterback, he's got Mike Shanahan and Gary Kubiak in his corner. Now, I tell you what, that's okay. I wouldn't mind that myself.
Nobody would like that more.
Because they're going to give you a chance as a quarterback to have success.
Garcia over the middle. Johnson again. And Johnson to the 31-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down. We have hit the 2-minute warning, and Brian Griese, well, there's never been any doubt he was the leader. How about the emotional leader of the Denver Broncos? 24-7 Denver. Two minutes to play here in San Francisco. The Denver Broncos with a 24-7 lead on the 49ers. From the 31-yard line, Garcia. On the move, throws this side, complete to Terrell Owens, out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. And for those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you're watching the NFL on CBS. Denver Broncos, San Francisco 49ers. Greg Gumbel with Phil Simms and Armin Katayan. Our score, the Broncos on top by a score of 24-7. 60 minutes will be seen immediately following this game, except in the Mountain and West Coast time zones. And we welcome those of you just joining us from other NFL action. 24-7. Broncos in the lead. Garcia's pass over the middle is complete to Garrison Hurst out of the backfield inside the 20 to the 16-yard line. This was a fairly even contest. In the first half, it ended with the 49ers in the control by a 7-3 score, but the Broncos came out and did some very good things here in the second half. While we have a moment tonight on 60 Minutes. Peacekeepers patrolling the streets are the easy part. The tough part, putting Afghanistan back together. See for yourself tonight on 60 Minutes, and then catch Becker on a new night, followed by the CBS Sunday movie, Message in a Bottle, starring Kevin Costner. It's all here tonight on CBS.
Well, okay, I'm going to watch.
You'll be en route.
No, I'm going to stay home and stay here and watch it.
Was your wife really mad at me?
Sure. She hates you.
If I don't get an email this week, she's going to be furious next week.
No, just kidding. She likes you, Greg. I don't know why.
49ers are out of timeouts.
You know,
45 to play.
I noticed Jeff Garcia is limping a little when he walks around out there, so I didn't see when he got hit to hurt, but
Garcia throws over the middle inside the 5-yard line. Eric Johnson lost the football, but it's blown dead at the 1. $15-yard pickup, and it's first and goal for the 49ers. And they're in a hurry as the clock continues to move. Garcia on the sneak touchdown. So the 49ers put their second touchdown of the day on the board. And on to attempt the extra point is Jose Cortez. And the kick is perfect. Minute 23 to play, and here is Garcia.
Yep, it's an automatic. You get in a situation like that, you line up quick. It's always going to be the quarterback sneak.
Jeff Garcia was 7 out of 7 on that drive, and there you see his numbers. And he didn't complete a lot of long passes today.
No long passes. I would say the longest pass in the air they completed was 7 or 8 yards down the field. No really big runs after the catch. Efficient, but when you do that, not to just tear this up, Greg, but it just takes a lot of plays, a lot of execution to score. The NFL, yeah, you can score a touchdown or two with prolonged drives, but usually you just need a big play to help you. Brian Griese, 14 and 19, timely throws, especially at the end. The pass interference doesn't show up in the box score there for his stats. He scrambled out, threw a long one down the field, got pass interference in the end zone, and that play was probably the difference in the game.
Meanwhile, it figures to be a delightful flight to Denver for the Broncos. Onside kick pulled in by Ashley Lilley. And the rookie comes up with another big play for the Denver Broncos, and it'll be Denver ball with a minute 22, and the 49ers without a timeout to stop the clock.
You know, the Denver Broncos, you look at your schedule and you go, okay, we start out with the St. Louis Rams. Ooh, they're really good. Then well, let's go to San Francisco. They were really good too. So, you know, to come out of that first 2-game stretch 2-0, that is big stuff. That can propel you to a terrific season.
And Mike Shanahan, pretty relaxed as usual as we talked to him last night. For the 5th time in the last 7 seasons, the Denver Broncos start 2-0.
Wow. That's a pretty impressive stat there in itself. So that tells you they go to training camp. They have an agenda to work to get ready for the start of the season. Put all your efforts and thoughts into winning those first couple games, and it's worked well for them.
Boy, and what a golden opportunity. If you've been watching the scores scroll across your screen, you see the St. Louis Rams are on the short end of a score to the New York Giants. I'm sure the 49ers are looking at a golden opportunity to go 2 games up in their division on St. Louis. And with that, this game will come to a close. The Denver Broncos ran the ball for 201 yards today as they ring up their 2nd victory in as many outings. And will go home with a 24-14 victory. Final 10 seconds, wind down here in San Francisco. So for Phil Simms and Armin Katayan, I'm Greg Gumbel saying so long from San Francisco. The Denver Broncos down at halftime, rallied in the 2nd half, and they take home a 24-14 victory. Thank you for joining us, everyone. You've been watching the NFL on CBS.
(24-14) Denver over San Francisco. Now 2 impressive victories for Denver over NFC West opponents. We're going to take you now to Minnesota. It's the best game going, 30-26. The Vikings trail the Bills. 12 minutes to go. The Bills over the Vikings. Take a look at the game. We'll see you later on NFL Sunday Ticket.
Alexander, and it's thrown behind him. And they are really out of sync with each other.
And Gus, you nailed it right there. They just look out of sync. And Derek looks frustrated, and Dante's frustrated. And a couple times he's thrown the ball to Derek and pointed to his eyes like, you got to look, you got to look. And I think Derek Alexander came from a offense in Kansas City, where they didn't have those sight adjustments as much as they are requiring him to have here in Minnesota, and he's still getting used to it.
The numbers on Dante Culpepper, no interceptions, but he's fumbled 3 times. Second down and 10 at the 30. A handoff to Mo Williams, galloping around the right side, cuts it in. Williams still running, and Williams out of bounds at the 41. Should be good enough for a first down. A 12-yard pickup.
And that